painfully dark and rainy stretch last week, the big guy upstairs must have heard our pleas, and this week, the blue skies came rolling in. We took full advantage and got caught up in some much-needed fun in the sun. While we try our best to appreciate what every season and forecast has to offer, we'd be lying if we said days like these right here aren't exactly what we love most about life on the water. Knowing it won't last forever, we had to get it while the getting was good and soak up as much summertime goodness as we could this week.
Daylight on the horizon, shining back at me, makes me think of my baby coming home to me. Down the riverside flowing, knowing she's still there. I can't see where she's going, but I hope it's near.
Could not be a more beautiful day today, and I just got the urge to go snorkeling, so I think that's what I'll do.
Ducky, come on, Ducky. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. It's okay. It's okay. Look here. There you go.
Lunchtime!
This is what I'm all about. Only worry I have is my foot going numb.
I'm gonna go meet up with Mr. Carl at the marina. He's one of Brandon's employees. He's 80-something years old. Awesome guy. He's been teaching me how to sail. Brandon's a great sailor, but he has a hard time dumbing things down enough for me, and Carl's pretty good at that, so.
Put it through here. I'm going to come back and go back through this. Okay?
Does that have a name?
It's just a jam cleat.
Jam cleat. All set up, ready to go. This is a laser sailing dinghy. For those who might be familiar, it's definitely not a beginner boat, but hey, that's how we do it around here. We just jump in. Woohoo!
What do you weigh, about 120?
125? Yeah. Okay, it's very hard to film and sail, so I gotta go now. Bye! Brandon's turn. Go, baby, go! A little tack. So calm, like a pro. You can see on the water he's just about to hit a little further up where the wind picks up because we're so protected in this cove here. What he's doing there is called sweeping the tiller. Artificial way to kind of help move the boat along until you get to where there's wind. Brandon did a lot of sailing throughout his 20s. I would love to have him sit down and share a little bit more about his life history up to this point with y'all sometime, because he's like the most fascinating person. Like, I always joke about him being the most interesting man in the world. Like, he's done it all. Anyways, one of the many things that he's done is while he was traveling the world as a nuclear tube welder, he would take, you know, a few months off between jobs here and there and just go live on a sailboat and sail around. His last cruise, he only tied the boat to a dock one time over the course of 7 months. I swear he's crammed more into his years than most people probably twice his age have. He's honestly such an inspiration to me. That's one of the reasons that I'm marrying him. I think it's a beautiful thing to be with somebody, to be partners with somebody that inspires you, and he absolutely does.
Maybe see if the renters are coming.
So I just dropped off our renters for this weekend at the Airbnb, and they brought us gifts, little plants for the new house, plant hangers, all kinds of goodies. Just like, oh my gosh, I am so grateful. I could not believe it. I was like, you guys are already paying to stay here. You don't have to do that. But this is Marianne, who's the sweetest, she's one of our viewers, subscribers on here. And so we kind of dialogue with her sometimes, and just so happy to meet her. And she is the most generous soul ever. So Marianne, I know you will see this. Thank you so much, girlfriend. I'm so happy to have you here. And you guys remember, if you ever, Aiko, don't eat that. As I was saying, please do keep us in mind if you're ever looking for a little getaway here in Western North Carolina. As you've seen in our video this week, it really is just an amazing, hard to beat lifestyle, and we would love and be honored to give you guys a little bit of a taste of it, even if only for a few days. So big hugs to Marianne again. Woo! Well, we did get a little rain after all, but the sun is still out, so I'll take it. Oh, it's beautiful. We have a saying here in the South that my friends that are not from the South always look at me funny if I say it, but the devil's beating his wife. Ooh, my baby done went fishing and brought home the bacon. Okay. Aiko, no, we do not eat fish inside. Come here. Come on. We don't eat the fishies inside. Except for mom and dad, but that's different because we're civilized and we use utensils. Okay, there's dinner, and dinner tomorrow. Do you mind to share with our friends about your sailing adventures?
I went sailing. So I got my first sailboat on a dill. It was a sailboat on a dock, and I lived in a tent for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years in these woods. A man approached me and said, hey, I'll give you this sailboat if you'll pay the dock rent. I hadn't paid it all year. And back then the rent was $1,200 for the year, so I was like, heck yeah, I'll have me a home. It's like camping without the dirt.
So this is it. This is the same boat, Brandon's first boat, and he actually lived on it for 2 years after he got it.
So in my 20s, everybody knows I traveled and worked, but they don't know I only worked 4 months a year. and I'd weld for 2 months in the spring and 2 months in the fall, and then I'd go sail for 4 months in between. And I'd just leave the boat wherever I was close enough to port, get on the airplane, go work, and then come back, jump on the boat, sail for 4 months, run all my money out, and I'd go back and weld. I had it made. Then in my 30s, I decided, well, I better start trying to make a little money. And I worked 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 until I was depressed and hated life and was like, why am I doing this and chasing all this money? So I gave it all up, moved back up here to the mountains, and well, I still work, but I love what I do. So that's how I got back here. This is the longest I've ever been anywhere in my life. Been here 5 years.
Thanks for sharing, baby.
Oh yeah, Sharon's caring.
Falling off the bone.
Yep.
Just did my daily swim. Got to do a little ab workout on the paddleboard. One of the many, many reasons I love summertime. We go to the gym a lot in the winter because you gotta move your body, get some endorphins, not be depressed. In the summertime, there's just no need. I mean, without sounding cheesy, the world is our gym. It really is. We swim, we wakeboard, we surf, we paddleboard, and we're both very active at work. I basically get to hike for a living most of the time. So this is a happy time of year. Speaking of which, Brandon's best friend Cal stopped by for the day, so of course we had to take him out on Miss Guinness. Thanks to one of our subscribers for that awesome name suggestion, by the way. When it comes to having fun on the water, the options never end. You can play behind a fancy, fun boat, or just buy a $2 float from Walmart. You can find new ways to explore, just going where the wind takes me, or get in touch with what's already right underneath you. Whatever your flavor, the water has something for everyone. If nothing else this week, we hope that this video will inspire y'all to prioritize a little bit of time soon to spend on your local body of water. Trust us, your soul will thank you.